Love Demon Slayer's swords, demons, and emotional damage? Today I'm breaking down 6 anime that hit that same adrenaline, pain, and hype energy, some darker, some weirder, all dangerously bingeable for shonen fans starving for action. Blowing off with number 6, Hell's Paradise Season 2. If Demon Slayer made you fall in love with characters suffering beautifully while swinging blades, Hell's Paradise Season 2 understands the assignment and then sharpens it. This anime is violent, spiritual, uncomfortable, and weird, in a way that feels intentional. Gabimaru isn't just fighting monsters, he's fighting the concept of meaning itself, which is way more stressful than breathing techniques. The island is still a nightmare. Pinterest board of flowers and death, and every episode feels like it's daring you to blink. The fights hit harder because nobody feels safe, not even the characters who look like main characters. Season 2 leans deeper into Tao, morality, and the idea that power doesn't make you righteous, it just makes your mistakes louder. The villains? Absolute menaces. They don't monologue politely. They dismantle your favorite characters emotionally and physically. If Demon Slayer is about protecting humanity from demons, Hell's Paradise asks whether humanity even deserves saving. That's a heavy question to drop between decapitations, but it works. The pacing stays tight. The animation stays disrespectfully clean, and the deaths stay traumatizing. You'll laugh, you'll wince, and then you'll stare at your screen wondering why this show just casually ruined your evening. It's not comforting, but it's unforgettable. And honestly, that's the point. Sliding to number 5, Udo Fire Slayer, The Legend of Phoenix. This one feels like Demon Slayer took a historical detour, got drunk on folklore, and came back swinging fire. Udo Fire Slayer thrives on spectacle, but what sells it is commitment. The flames aren't just flashy, they're personal. Every fire technique feels like it costs something, whether it's stamina, sanity, or straight up years off your life. The Phoenix legend isn't just mythological window dressing, it's woven into character arcs, betrayals, and some genuinely painful backstories. The protagonist has that Tanjiro-style sincerity, but he's rougher around the edges and way more willing to burn bridges. Sometimes literally. Villains in this show don't feel evil for fun. They feel desperate, ideological, and terrifyingly convinced they're right. That makes every clash feel less like good versus evil and more like belief versus belief. The Edo-era setting gives the series a gritty texture, and the swordplay mixed with fire techniques is ridiculous in the best way. You'll catch yourself hyping up side characters who absolutely look like they won't survive the season. And yeah, some episodes flex harder than necessary, but when the story hits, it hits. This is the kind of anime where you finish an episode and immediately need water, silence, and emotional recovery. Landing on number 4, Elegy for the Henchman, Fist of the North Star. This anime has no business being this emotional, but here we are. Elegy for the Henchman flips the script by focusing on the disposable villains, the guys who usually exist just to get punched into the sun. And somehow, it works disturbingly well. The brutality is still classic Fist of the North Star nonsense, people exploding from pressure points, but now there's sadness layered underneath. Every henchman has a story, a regret, or a reason they ended up throwing hands with destiny. It doesn't excuse their actions, but it humanizes them in a way that sneaks up on you. Demon Slayer fans will appreciate how this show understands that tragedy makes fights heavier. The main enforcers are terrifying, not because they're unstoppable, but because they believe the world already ended. The animation leans old school, but uses modern pacing to keep things tense. Some moments feel almost unfair emotionally, like the show is daring you to feel bad for someone you watched commit atrocities 5 minutes ago. And somehow, you do. It's brutal, philosophical, and occasionally ridiculous, but that contrast makes it hit harder. You'll come for the violence, and stay because your heart got involved without permission. Looking at number 3, Digimon Break. Yeah, I know. Digimon on a Demon Slayer style list sounds unhinged, but trust me, number 3? It'll mess with your head in the best way possible. Beat Break is Digimon growing up, lifting weights and developing unresolved trauma. This isn't Saturday morning nostalgia, it's existential dread with digital monsters. The bonds between humans and Digimon are pushed to a breaking point, literally questioning whether partnership is control disguised as friendship. The action goes way harder than expected, with evolutions that feel earned and consequences that stick. When characters get hurt, they stay hurt, physically and emotionally. Villains aren't trying to conquer the world for fun, they're reacting to systems that failed them. That's where the Demon Slayer similarity hits. Empathy doesn't weaken the story, it sharpens it. Beat Break isn't afraid to slow down and let conversations hurt just as much as the fights. And when the fights happen, they explode. The animation jumps in quality at key moments, like it's saving budget specifically to emotionally devastate you. This is Digimon for people who grew up, got disappointed, and still believe connection matters, even when it hurts. Rolling into number 2, Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider. This anime is ridiculous, and that's exactly why it works. Tojima wants heroism the same way Tanjiro wants to protect people, but society keeps laughing in his face. The show balances comedy and pain like a tightrope. One episode has you laughing at absurd training montages, the next has you quietly respecting Tojima's refusal to give up. The fights aren't just physical, they're ideological. What does it mean to be a hero in a world that monetizes violence and clout? Sound familiar? Demon Slayer fans will recognize that sincerity can still punch through cynicism. The villains here are systems, influencers, and false idols as much as masked enemies. The action choreography is surprisingly clean, especially when Tojima finally snaps and proves he's been holding back. The anime roasts superhero tropes while still loving them, which makes every transformation scene feel earned instead of ironic. You'll root for Tojima not because he's strong, but because he refuses to stop believing. And in a genre obsessed with power scaling, that's refreshing. Taking the crown at number 1, Trigun Stargaze. Trigun Stargaze is pain disguised as sci-fi western chaos. Vash isn't slaying demons, but he's fighting despair. And sometimes that's worse. This series understands restraint. When violence happens, it matters. When it doesn't, the tension still suffocates you. Stargaze leans into moral conflict, asking how far kindness can go before it becomes self-destruction. Sound familiar, Demon Slayer fans? Exactly. The animation is stunning without being flashy, and the gunfights feel deliberate, not random. Villains challenge Vash's philosophy instead of just his strength, forcing conversations that hurt more than bullets. The world feels empty, broken, and worth saving anyway. That's the magic. Stargaze doesn't rush emotional payoffs. It earns them. By the end, you're not just watching a story, you're processing one. And that's why it deserves the top spot. So that's my Demon Slayer adjacent lineup. Bloody fights, broken heroes, and vibes that stick with you. Drop your favorites below, argue respectfully, and tell me what I missed. Like the video, subscribe for more anime chaos, and trust me, we're just getting started together. Next list goes harder, stranger, and might break your watch history permanently. Seriously. Enjoy.